most of your pressure needed to spin that bolt is overcoming the friction of the head touching what you're tightening against. Well, your torque wrench might click 90, right? The torque wrench will say it, but all that knows is how hard you turn the head of the bolt. And you're spending most of your energy to overcome it, dragging across the top of the bolt, not actually spinning and tightening down what you're tightening. We'll repeat that. Wiggle it around right there. Feel it, see?
Educational TV there.
We're doing a cat experiment. Let's just see what happens. See, this is what I was talking about when I was moaning and groaning about them having the connector on sideways. I mean, it's like staring at me in the face. I mean, what kind of non-attention to detail would I have to do to put this on crooked like that? And then walk from it? Come on, give me a break. Take a little more freaking pride. Put the crap in right and do it. Do it. All right, we're paying all the injectors in, 25. I do 25 on them. They're going on the spot, Gabe. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I want a 10 millimeter. I'll repeat it for you. Okay, he hasn't heard me say this yet. I'll repeat it. I want a 10 millimeter deep well, 3/8 drive, 5/8 extension, regular ratchet. It's a test. 3/8 inch, 10 millimeter, deep well, 5/8 extension, regular ratchet. This is what I would tell people when they would come in and want to fill out an application. This is the very basics of what I need them to know. 3/8 drive, 10 millimeter, 5/8 extension, regular ratchet. Can you find that? Let's see if Joey can find it.
A what?
Joey here is an Iowegian. Is that what it's called?
Sure.
Did you see it? You didn't see it? Okay. If I had it more organized, I know.
See, I've got 10 mil deep, regular ratchet.
Yep.
Now I just gotta find the 5-inch extension.
For 3/8?
For 3/8, yeah.
Keep looking. I just put my eyes on it. But you know what you're looking for at least.
Yeah.
Okay, he knows what he's looking for. What is that? What is that? Go ahead and say what that is.
Is that a 3/8?
That's 3/8.
You can test it on
But
your socket.
look at
or
it.
your ratchet.
Look
That's-
closer.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah,
Oh,
try
that's
it.
1/2 inch.
There you go. See, he's paying attention. You gotta learn. I mean,
That's 1/2 inch.
yep. Keep going. You're like, God, he's so hot. Okay, so in order to work here, you need glasses. Okay, that's what he needs.
Found it.
I found it.
He found it. So what is that?
5-inch extension, regular ratchet, and deep 10 millimeter socket.
Yep, and
And
that-
3/8.
from and then from. So when somebody yells for that, they would say, "I need a 10 on a 5-inch."
Yep. And then 5-inch on a 10 on a 5.
And how would you hand it to him?
Or like that.
Pop it together. Normally pop it together, and then generally, like if you're going to use it, hold that. If you're going to use it, stand up here. Stand right here.
It's facing him.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No.
Does
need
it?
No, I need it this way.
Right? Okay, so hand it to me. Now you're talking. Right there. Little simple things like that. I want to hook up the Fickum harness to the injector without the oil rail in the way and with the intake in place because the harness has to attach to the intake. So get the injectors in, pop them through. Intake on first. And then injectors in and ready to go. No oil rails on. That way when I hook this up, there's absolutely no chance of me getting hosed by pushing this back out of the rocker box. You can put the oil rail and valve cover and cover everything up and end it, and then you go to push this on and it pushes this out of the back. Now you got to take all that crap back apart. So I did tape a little bit of it, tape that back on. Now when we put the oil rail on, I know I'm done with these connections right here. So from this point, we're ready to go ahead and now button up. Oil rails, valve covers, close the side up. Now that the injectors are plugged in, everything's done under here. Take another quick look. Say bye-bye, valve train injectors.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Here we go.
In his best attempt to try and not tape anything, there's still some stuff we have to tape. This
Yeah,
battery
these right
cable.
here, this is always a good idea. Granted, that one is pretty good, so I'm gonna leave that one for now. But the ones that go across the front of the radiator, a lot of times the tape is all frayed and ratty. So I will tape these on at the very end of the job when I know exactly where I want it to be at. So,
And we're gonna deburr what?
yep, don't forget to deburr this. Do not try to put this back together. Oh, what are you doing? That right there, I do a deburr on that, make it a little bigger. Otherwise, you're gonna fight that stud down there and try to get it off. It's a pain in the freaking butt. Some of the early models have that same style thing back on the Fickum harness on the back of the intake. So if you deburr that, works really good. You go right on the stud, everything will be heavy. Don't forget your transmission line, 10 millimeter down there. It's kind of interesting, but got the starter back in. If you don't have a cover, I'd go ahead and get one. They still sell them. So, yeah, I've got the starter in. I'm working my way from the bottom. We're gonna wait on the AC compressor. I'll go ahead and put the exhaust manifolds on before the AC compressor, but I did want to have the starter and the battery cable, block drains, all that stuff. I'd like to have all that done before the manifolds go on. That way I'm pretty much done down there besides the dipstick. We'll have to do the dipstick, which we got to update it. We got an 07 tube. So we're going to put the round dipstick on it, that one. And in order to do that, you can just buy the tube and the dipstick, which is very, very close to the same cost that it takes to get the T-handle dipstick without the tube, which is weird, but yeah. So if it's all screwed up and you're getting to a point where you can easily get the dipstick out, just buy them both. Buy the tube and the dipstick, and then you've got the newer one that does not break. I mean, generally those don't break, that O-ring on the inside. But if you do it, make sure you put some oil on that O-ring first time you put it in, because it's real tight. You have to oil it. Good time to put the oil fill tube, and I do put TA29 on the bottom of there because a lot of times they come loose. Put a new O-ring on it and a new and some TA29. I'll go ahead and throw the glow plug bracket and glow plug module on before we put the harness on. I will go ahead and put the Fickum brackets on before we run it, before we set the harness on. I just want to get everything that the harness is going to lay over on before it lays over. Like we'll put the exhaust manifolds on too. I'm going to put them on right now. And this is what it should look like about when you put a harness on. Go ahead and put a lot of it together. I'll put the EGR valve in too so that it's got somewhere to hook that wire to. We just want as many places that the points to hook the harness up. Put a lot of that stuff in. That way it'll just make it easier to place it. Make sure all the twists are out of the harness and make sure it just sits relaxed how it normally does. And you'll be fine. Well, Super Duty is having a day, I guess. I just found out Chris, man, I hope I go back. Look right there. Probably, and I don't know, there's like 40 of them. I don't know how many videos he's got. They're everywhere. Here, point all over the place. I guess we need to get to Illinois, or we need to grab that 40-footer that is right there behind that and hook it to the Volvo and come get Chris's truck, because he sent a picture. Maybe I'll get it in right here. And he said the valve spring's bent, which probably means the valve's bent, which probably means the pistons made contact, which probably means the rods are bent and the crank is trash, and we just need to go and completely tear it apart and rebuild it. Holy freaking crap. Okay. I don't know what happened, but we are trying to... I just found out 10 minutes ago now. 10 minutes ago that we had this issue. And so... I mean, I like to think that you find out who the hell you're dealing with when things go wrong. Because when you're commenting, you know, half of you guys, a lot of you guys are actual customers that have paid money to us to have things done. So, I mean, you find out who you're dealing with, and let's just, okay, you know, schedule has to change. Let me see. Hopefully we can take care of him. I guess we got we got some content coming out of that. That's got a set of $3,500 Hyper Max rods. I don't think we did anything with pistons. I think we just did, I don't even think we ceramic coated them because it's 6 liter. Push rods, I think, probably camshaft. I don't know. I don't know if it had a cam or not. But we probably got piston witness marks and everything. I don't know. But, you know, we show everything here, don't we? Aren't we showing it all? I mean, what? I mean, we could always, you know, hide and act like we live and raise the sunshine for the rest of our freaking lives. But that don't always happen. So... freaking dirty, grubby hands. Get your dirty, grubby hands off of it, will you? Can you just please try to not scratch it? Oh, lift that up. There you go. Okay.
You didn't scratch it, did you?
Yep.
Okay.
I've already ran the sequence once. If you want to see that, you'll have to watch the other side. And I just run around it to make sure I didn't forget any.
Let's use this side, the flat side for the manifold.
Yep.
Okay.
That side right there. We put new EBP adapters in it. If you use a 1/2 inch 9/16, I'm pretty sure it's 9/16. 1/2 inch drive, 9/16, put a big ratchet on it, tighten it down. It's also fairly easy to get it out.
This can be welded on.
That almost always comes out. But use this. It's just simpler to use this. Be easier too to go from the outside. This you can almost sink it.
Hold on, zoom.
So when you get done, try to somewhat cleanly wipe off the NSCs that's left. Whatever's there is going to melt when you run down here.
Yeah.
Cut the freaking sealant too damn low. I thought it was a trash can. And so I thought it was all hardened, and I thought it was going to be cutting the can all the way open. And I ruined myself for a good long minute. But now we got to deal with that fat cut son of a gun.
That's some sealant on the new dipstick tube with the new O-ring. Cody's back there trying to figure out this exhaust. Fish it down in there. It does not appear to be bent from what we're seeing. It's kind of hard to see down in there.
There, yeah, you can kind of see my sloppy little job.
Yep.
In case you guys ever put your EVP sensor on wrong, which no way, nobody ever does. Okay, when you put the wire, look at how it relaxes, right? It's so obviously it's pointing that way. So we'll take the tab and keep it like that, and then I'll spin the bottom. Now we'll take the ratchet. All I'm doing with this ratchet right here is 1 inch is holding the sensor, and then I'll spin this on it. So spin the bottom on it. That way, when you get done, it still tightens how that wants to be. Ooh, that's a little tight. Oh, I think if you go back to the older videos, this actually fell off. We found it. It was somewhere, I don't know. But if you look back at the Diag video when we checked it, it did not have that on it. Now it does. Wow. I mean, for being 05, that is freaking beautiful. I mean, I would sleep with that under my pillow. So this is our Y pipe, up pipe and Y pipe. Yep.
Have to bend in the heat shield down there a little bit for the flex joints.
Have to clearance it. These are Vibrant 60604 is part number of these flex joints that we got.
Yeah.
And even put a little bead there. even though the 6 liter doesn't suffer from it, but 6.4s do. So we carried it over because 6.4 we have to weld where there's not factory welds and so we just carried it over, put a little bead on it right there,
Just to make sure.
They never come off. It's not, but that's from 6.4 is where we learned that from.
Well, we say that, now we'll see one.
We better not. What do we got here? There's 90,000 miles. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm glad we took it apart. Let's clean it up. Okay, we hook a little jumper up to the wire and let's prime fuel this. Already got one video. Everybody's loving that video too. It's taken off. It's a good one. 6.0 Power Stroke priming fuel. Okay, here we go. You ready to take it? Okay, let off. Now let it sit for a minute. I bet you it'll, okay, now go. It'll probably fire right up. Here we go. Yep. Okay, it's filling the line. Look at all that air that's not going to be in the injectors. Get ready. Stop. Okay, we need to suck that out now and pull a little more in it. Just about ready. Oh, you could hear that air coming back through it. There's a little air in it. You guys know what your banjo fittings look like? I have new hardware, exhaust, got our up pipe, Y pipe, intake, cleaned the turbo, had a good set of injectors. Pretty much just stud job. We did put a new oil cooler in it when I did that. Same belt. Oh, now you can hear it coming out of the tank, huh? Mm-hmm. We can hear it pushing all that back to the tank. Just priming the fuel up, wanting to get let it run as much as we can. Now, that way when we go to fire it up, it's already had a bunch of fuel ran through it. It'll still long crank because of oil, but clean the turbo oil up. Yep. That's what she looks like. Oh, the exhaust. Yeah, they're gonna finish the exhaust. That's almost equivalent to open header. There it goes, yeah. I can hear it pushing air out of the back. And then it's pulling the air back here. Let's hope it ain't leaking. Hope we didn't. Huh.
I don't know, that's what it looked like down inside of it. That drain pan over there, that sector shock was apart.
Oh, here's the inside of the housing. It was pretty freaking bad. Yeah, we need to change the filters. It looks like it was changed, but when the filter was changed, you gotta really pull the water separator. And then if that water separator lets a bunch of nasty crap out, then you need to do that. You need to take it all the way apart, clean it all up, clean the inside out. Yeah, we need to do that. Keep that thing clean. Did go and put the 06 dipstick. We reused the EVP tube. It was a little stiff, but it worked. It was good. What else? Got a fresh set of glow plugs. Got some little aftermarket glow plug wires. They seem to be all right. I don't remember where Don got them from, but he had some. He likes his aftermarket parts, which, maybe between me and him will be a good balance with each other, because he can keep me down to earth a little bit, because we just buy everything. And some of the aftermarket stuff, like, look at that. It's not long enough. See, the wire is in the wrong spot. So, aftermarket. Hopefully they should work just fine. I hope. I think he's used these before. We did take the breather box completely off. Put blue Loctite on those T30s when you put it back together. You can still get the 4 O-rings for the breather box. And we just rinsed it real good and then let it sit on edge with that down for like 3 days, however long it was. And drains it all out, lets it drain. Put a thermostat in it. Not really much to look at down here. I mean, it's all should be good. Should be. Yeah, buddy.